Thank you for checking out this little teaser of the history of the papacy and church. Here's a little taste of what's coming up soon on the History of the Papacy podcast. Now, if you like what you hear, I'd love it if you'd leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or your podcatcher of choice. If you want to support the podcast even more, consider becoming a Patreon on patreon.com/history of the papacy. There are many levels and benefits for you, and you help keep the history of the papacy going. You can learn more about all of this at historyofthepapacypodcast.com. With that, here's another piece of the mosaic of the popes of Rome and Christian church, and I will definitely be talking to you more soon. Yeah, that's a big move. Everybody's gone now.
Everyone dies within like 5 years. I mean, there's the king, there's the general, there's the Pope, and Garibaldi dies a little bit after that too. So there's these four massive chess pieces that just fell down, and the left in power is left to pick up the pieces. They are able to hyperdrive the cult of the state now, because the king was able to do a lot more in his death than he did when he was actually alive to unite the country. I mean, in his life, he was kind of like a silly guy. Like, there was criticism against him. He had like dye running down his hair into his shirt because he colored his hair. He was an infamous adulterer. I mean, he was joked as literally the father of the nation. Like, that's what people would joke about him as. And this was the way that he was viewed. And in his death, 200,000 people went to visit his funeral, or went along with it on the way to Rome. And 6 years later, there was another pilgrimage of the same amount of people on Rome to celebrate the king's death. And replacing him was his first son, Umberto. He chose Umberto I. Thankfully, he didn't choose Umberto IV, which a lot of Piedmontese people wanted, so they could continue the line of Savoy. But he luckily chose Umberto I. And